Okay, part two. So yeah, the last, I don't know, 2 months, month and a half have been crazy for me. Um, I've been going through Klonopin withdrawal, like legit withdrawal, not, there's not just I have to make it a couple days before something happens or I get another prescription, but legitimate withdrawal. Um, but I'd like to believe the I'm on the other side of it by now. Like I'm on a downward thing from here. Like it's not. I don't think I'm fighting uphill anymore. Um, because the sky doesn't feel like it's falling anymore. Like there's when you're listen. I would not wish benzo withdrawal upon any man. It is it will push you to your limits, and I'm not kidding. Um, I lost my best friend, and I guess I'll get into that at some point here. I lost, I nearly lost Lynn. I lost my friend Joseph. I lost a lot of things um, that weren't just personal, like between other people. And this is going to sound like a cop out, but I genuinely believe it to be a result of the withdrawal. And when you try to look up videos for help through the withdrawal, it's just like heroin addicts and stuff saying like, dude, like this is the worst thing that's ever happened, and I've gone through heroin and I've gone through all this and this is the worst, and then there's people like going through like their like sixth or seventh month saying that this is like they're like the fifth and fourth month was the worst. And it's like I'm just in my first and second, you know what I'm saying? So, but I wasn't on a high dosage. I was only I never I never got to 2 milligrams. The max I ever got was 1.5 a day at the beginning of 2015 into 2014 when I was moving up here. But for the last 8 months or so, I've been on uh, zero point 0.5 milligrams of Klonopin, and Klonopin is great because the longer half life has the longest half life of all the benzos. So I think I'm I was I think I'm in the ideal setup to quit cold turkey. I say cold turkey because apparently you're supposed. I found out afterwards that you're supposed to really taper off little by little, like very little by little. But again, I was already at a very little dose, so uh, yeah. But apparently the dosage doesn't matter. Also, apparently it's like a percentage thing. So it's like you have to it doesn't matter that I was taking zero point 0.5 because that's my 100%. You know what I'm saying? Zero point 0.5 would be fine to stop at if I was starting from I don't know 4 milligrams. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I don't know. What I know is that I've been off of it for about a month and a half, and I don't want to get back on it. Whereas for the first month, I did, and I was just doing anything I could to hold it together. And I made that darkness track to do whatever I could to keep like that darkness verse. Even though it doesn't really have much to do, it doesn't have anything to do with the shit I'm going through in my head right now. It was metaphorically that, and that's why I got locked up on it. Also, I believe was because I didn't want to allow myself to because I really feel a lot of light coming into my life and I feel a lot of good things happening, but I wanted to get that song called Darkness out before I did it and before I let it in. And seems like after I did that everything's been sort of brightening up, and I don't want to jinx it because I've said that before, you know what I'm saying? But it seems to be doing it at a genuine level. And even when I do freak out, I'm so used to freaking out by now that there's nothing that my brain can really hit me with that I'm not thoroughly used to. Even as creative as I am when it comes to freaking myself out, um, it's getting to the point now where it's been so many years of freaking out and so many years of panic attacks that A, I'm used to it, but B, the Klonopin withdrawal, the beautiful part of it, of the benzo withdrawal, is it really it's a testing, it's like a testing course to really see if you are um, to really see if you're ready to get off of them. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can make it through, I mean, it's a complete barrage of just your brain attacking you. I mean, I like it starts to feel for me. It's like it really started to feel like I didn't have control of my thoughts, and you start questioning yourself, and you're like, damn, this isn't even the withdrawal. This is just who I am now. And it's just like, it's just a horrible thing. And, normally that's what's giving you the withdrawal is what you would take to get off, to get past, feeling like that. And it's, for most people, it's the reason why you got on it. So it's like you finally have to face it and defeat it in order to get off of it. So that's kind of beautiful in itself, but I don't believe that's the intention. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've been going through a lot of dark stuff. And yeah, like I said, I lost my best friend Owen because apparently I broke his nose. I don't know. We got into a fist fight at Lynn's house. I came over and he was on her bed, not like on her, just like he was just sitting on her bed. And Lynn was around the house just fucking with stuff, like cleaning or whatever. And but I walked in, I was like, bro, like, what the fuck? Why haven't I heard from you in months? Because I haven't heard from him since he got back from LA last year. And I was like, yo, bro, what's up? And he said, you haven't hit me up. And I was like, for real? Because I have hit him up. You guys have seen me make videos here. I've hit him up on Facebook. I tagged him on Instagram. I don't know what more to do to reach out besides physically coming in his face. And I did. And I said, what's up? Why is this happening? Like, why can't I get a hold of you? And not only that, but why can't I get a hold of you, but you're here in my girlfriend's fucking house in here doing shit with her? You know what I'm saying? And he wouldn't respond. He just said, well, you haven't hit me up. You haven't hit me up. And yeah, what I did was, because he was in, I decided at that point it was going to get physical. Like, because, and this isn't okay, but I'm really getting to a point where I feel like my words aren't penetrating. Or at least I was getting to that point where I felt like my words just aren't getting through. Like I'm saying them to a face that isn't giving a shit. And when I'm giving a shit about it more than anything else, it's very important to me that the person I'm saying it to at least hears me out. And I didn't feel like he was hearing me out. So I went for Lynn with no intention of hurting her, but I put my hand around her neck and just to get him off the bed because her bed's way up. It wasn't in my advantage. But so he got off the bed and apparently I broke his nose or whatever. And he had to go to the hospital and all that. Told me to stop talking to him. And I was like, really? It has to be that way? And he's like, yeah, you got to pay my bill or whatever. And, yeah. So, yeah, he's not talking to me anymore. And, yeah. But I'm used to that. I mean, I'm pretty good at getting people out of my life because of who I am. I'm pretty, like, I'm like the best at isolating myself. I'm pretty much like the best. I'm pretty much like when it comes to isolating myself and making myself be alone, I'm pretty much the best at it. Even the people who love me and really want to be around me, I'm so good at pushing them away. I'm so good at finding sources of care and comfort and love and stripping myself of it. And I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why I do it. But, I'm working on it. I don't want it to stay that way, so I guess that's a good thing. And I just haven't felt physical. You know what I'm saying? Ever since that incident with Lynn and ever since that happening with Owen, I just haven't felt. Like, there's been times where Lynn and I have gotten into altercations since then. And she's been afraid that, I was going to get physical, and it just never came over me. And so that's good. But I stopped seeking medical attention. I stopped seeking medical help for it. And that's mainly because, and I don't know if I talked about this in my last video or in my last update, but I went to go see, I finally got a psychiatrist. And it's so hard to find a fucking psychiatrist in 2016 in America. Because you got to have, like, the right insurance, and that insurance has to match with this and that. And then and there's only specific therapists and psychiatrists that fit specific insurances, and only some of them will take out of pocket, and it's just all this bullshit. And because of my weird financial situation, I overqualify for just the regular Oregon insurance, which is what most people take. but I underqualify for other things like Blue Cross, and it's just a fucked up situation. And so when I went to see Rebecca, her name was Rebecca Dolgen. I went to see her, and she got me to get this whole thing out. You know what I'm saying? She talked to me for like 2 hours over here in Ashland. It's 2 towns over, and she got this whole. She got me talking forever. She got me talking for like 2 hours and got me crying and got me talking about my dad and talking about all this shit. Only to at the end be like, I don't think I can handle you. I think you're a little too much for me. You know what I'm saying? Which I appreciate her saying, and I appreciate her being honest and not trying to like take on a client that she's not quite prepared for. But at the same time, why'd you drag me on that far only to say that? Because I started with the solipsism and I started with the the big problems first, and then once it was after she got me going into like the roots of it all that she decided she told me it was too much. But that's not what fucked with me. It was when I then went to see Dr. Murphy again, my GP, my primary, just my regular doctor. I went to see him again, and it really fucked with me because he said, and Lynn was there next to me, and luckily she was because I just started fucking breaking down. He said that, Rebecca expressed to me that she thinks you may have early onset schizophrenia. At that point, I got so fed up with it, man. I'm so sick of fighting this mental thing for so long, and just the thousands of dollars, just the thousands and thousands of dollars of debt that I've accumulated, and the thousands that I've wasted only to just be told it's anxiety, and to be thrown into like these benzo addictions and withdrawals and stuff. Like it's just not worth it, man. And I came to the conclusion that if I could just get off the fucking benzos, then I won't have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I am schizophrenic, and one day I'm gonna start hearing voices and seeing shit or whatever. I don't know exactly what schizophrenia is, but what I do know is I'm not in the position to deal with it right now. I have too much on my plate. I have too much that I want to do with religion. I have too much that I want to do with my life as a whole to be able to be trying to fuck with, the fact that I might have schizophrenia, and then trying to find psychiatrists for that, and trying to find therapists for that, and trying to find psychologists for that. It's just not worth it. I don't have the time for it, and I don't have the energy for it after 4 years of trying to fight for my fucking sanity. Because I feel like I'm finally getting there on my own, just like I've done everything else in my life. I've gotten everywhere else I have alone. The only thing I've ever received help with was nothing. Nobody's ever helped me with anything. Nothing big. Nobody's ever held my hand through anything. I'm blessed financially. Other than that, I've never had anybody hold my hand through anything. I've built exactly who I am from the ground up. Teachers have given up on me. My parents have given up on me. I tried to contact my dad last week, because I drank too much. I've been drinking recently because I'm off the pills and it's helping. But I've been drinking recently, and I got too drunk, and I messaged my dad, and I said, I sent just this long ass email to my dad, only to realize that he blocked my email or something like that. So I sent it to did I tell you I have a sister that I didn't even know about? Chelsea? By the way, I also have a sister who's, she's in college. Her name's Chelsea. She's a beautiful woman, and she's great to talk to. But I messaged her on Facebook, and I said, but she's the one who Dad is currently with. And see me still calling him fucking Dad. I haven't seen him since I was 6 or 8 years old. And it's 6 to 8 years old, and I still can't fucking stop. It's fucking crazy. Like, I really need to get out of my past. Sent him a message, and he didn't want anything to do with it. And so I sent it through Chelsea to say, and she's like, yeah, I'll make sure he sees it, yada, yada. Still nothing. And if you saw what was in that message, it was from the depths. Hold on, I gotta move on to the next part of this.